So this man finally admits the truth to us all. We got to talk about it. Hey, welcome back, you guys, to Red Lipstick Reality TV. If you're new here, hey, welcome. We have a great time over here talking about everything from Sister Wives to The Golden Bachelor. Hit the subscribe button, turn on all your notifications because I do go live and it's a great time having a discussion with all the Red Lipstick Club members. Also, you guys, if you're coming back, hey, welcome back. Good to see you. So I'm wearing this lipstick. It is called Vampira. I got to name it myself. But I went to a place called Lip Lab where you get to make your own custom lipstick. So tell me what you think about the lipstick. It is a custom color I made. It was so much fun. If you have a Lip Lab in your area, you should try to test it out. It is not cheap, FYI. So kind of just be prepared for that. But it is a really fun experience to have. But without further ado, you guys, we got to talk about Sister Wives. I would not say it was the most entertaining episode. It did move kind of slowly for me, but there were a few moments where I was like, now I see why we have officially made Kody like villain of the year. Like, he is literally the reality show villain of the year. I don't know if it gets worse than him. And I don't even know. I'm wondering, is he aware of how big of a villain he is? Because this guy, yikes, y'all. I mean, almost all my WTF moments this week come from him and the craziness that he says. So this isn't going to be the longest review, but we're definitely going to get into it. And I did break it down by segment still because that really helps me to stay on track and kind of keep up with things I really want to focus on. But the first segment, I just called it Much Ado About Easter. And if you guys watched the episode, obviously they're all getting together for the holiday. I just always find it interesting how Kody picks and chooses what is something connected to the religion or the doctrine and what isn't. And I just find it interesting as well that the other women are like, that there's nothing in the gospel that says anything about this. So I could see maybe talking about being pagan. I do have very religious family members that do look at some things as being pagan, and they might not do some of the fun aspects, like the commercial aspects around things like Christmas and Easter. But he's the number one with the youngest children, and he basically has rules for some of them and not for all of them. So Robin can come in and change things and say, well, hey, if you don't want to do this, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm just going to go to my mom's. And you would think that he would say that she's not being loyal, right, to the family. But because he's in love with this woman, he makes adjustments and changes for her to make her happy. But Christine, who he also knew loved Easter, loved doing those things, he tells her, you can't have this. If Christine would have said, I'm still going to do Easter and everything, she would have been labeled not loyal. So there's like multiple areas, you guys, where we're seeing these women that have been loyal to this man to a fault because it ultimately did not pay off for them. He didn't love them anymore. He's now calling them 20, 30 years later saying these women were not loyal ever when they were literally giving up things that meant a lot to them, like wearing earrings, celebrating Easter before this man. And Robin got to come in the family, keep her earrings on. She got to celebrate Easter. So I just find it's just, if this man doesn't see the disparities in how he handles things and how he's treated these women based off being in love with one of them and not being in love with the others, I don't know what to tell you. But that just kind of stood out to me, you guys. Tell me what you think about that. But I just find it interesting when he talks about loyalty. I'm like, these women were literally giving up things that meant a lot to them because you didn't like it. I don't know how much more loyal they can get. Y'all, you're not going to like me this episode, but Janelle is getting on my nerves. And I think it's because she has this, things are easy mentality. And the whole ship can be going down. And she's just trying to find the easy moment in it. And I just don't think you get the luxury, to do that. I just don't, this is why your kids are in the situation they're in now, because you tried to find the easy way and the easy approach to very complex situations and complex relationships. And life and relationships are not easy. Like, even when they're smooth, it doesn't mean it was easy to get there. Like, there was work put in to get it to that point. So something about her saying easy again, I'm just like, weren't you the one you went on a date with a man that didn't care about your kids because it made it easy. This bothers me. I know people are going to hate that, but it really gets on my nerves. And also just then like she's kind of being kind of defensive, right? Throughout this episode. Because I feel like she's almost actually recognizing how bad this whole situation is, and she's trying to dismiss it and say, "Oh, I'm fine. He can have her. She can have him. I'm fine." And I'm like, Janelle, are you really fine though? Well, and I'm going to talk about that, because if that's her approach to this whole situation, I don't care. I'm fine. She can have him. I see why we're at the situation we are now with their marriage. Moving on in this segment, this is where Kody says, my what the fuck moment. I'll insert here.
I have a life with Robin and her children. And right now that's really, I'm okay with that, even though I hope we can fix things and move things to a different place.
So Kody feels like he's totally fine where he's at. That's where the loyalty is at, apparently, as well, is with Robin. And for him to just be able to say this so easily and then wonder why his kids feel the way they do. Kody, watch yourself. Listen to yourself. You're basically telling them you don't need this family that you had before. You're basically replaced your family. You replaced them. And I'm sure that's a hard pill to swallow, right? Like, it doesn't feel good to admit to yourself that you've replaced your family. And I don't think he's the first person we've seen do that. I think we've seen this happen before, where men were in relationships with women, had children when they were younger, get divorced, and then when they're older, they start a new family, right? And it's like that first family really didn't exist. I also think a little bit, I don't know if you guys think back when Caitlyn Jenner was married. Like, Caitlyn Jenner had been married a few times, right? And Caitlyn Jenner's first marriage to their wife, they had like Brody and those kids, right? I think he had like two wives then, and had like one set when he was in the Olympics, and then had another set of kids, Brody and his brother, like that set, and then had a set with Kris Jenner, right? And for the longest time, those first two kids that happened when he was in the Olympics, it's like nobody knew those kids even existed, right? And I wouldn't be shocked if those kids had some resentment, because it's almost like you went to Hollywood and left us behind, like as if we were another life. And even thinking about the transition, you know, some of the kids haven't taken that as well either with Caitlyn, and it's almost like living two separate lives, like you just forgot about us. You know, with the transition, I think that's different, but with when Caitlyn married Kris Jenner, it was literally like those first two kids didn't happen. And I only think Brody and his brother were in it because Brody was on TV. But I think he might have been left behind too, as if you weren't really happening. You didn't really happen. And it's almost like Kody wants to think like that former life with those three wives didn't happen. It's just, I don't know. It's a mess to me. I know I went on a tangent there, but like, just some things started to connect the dots for me when I'm watching this, and I'm like, this guy really thinks he can just separate the two families like this. Like, this is one life, and he's like living a whole new life. So anyway, they talk about focusing on tradition. Now, I do like this about what Janelle said about tradition, because I know like when your parents get divorced, a lot of the traditions that you had are things you did as a family. And when you get divorced, sometimes those things don't transfer over to your new existence. And my mom has always been really big on that. My dad's always been really big on keeping what traditions we could. Excuse me, even though they separated and divorced. And that really made a difference, because it did keep some of those things I loved and grew up with and really cherished and are tied to some of my greatest memories growing up. It helped me to preserve some of those things. So I do agree with Janelle with trying to do as much of that as possible, or even creating new memories, so that, you know, hey, we can at least attach some fun moments and some great memories to these new traditions. So I'm glad that she did say that. Kody continuously blaming Christine and Janelle for the family separation. I mean, to say somebody is unaware, and it's just, he's very unaware. Like, he's just very unaware, you guys. And I don't know if that can be fixed. I don't even know if therapy could fix that at this point, because the narcissism is just at a level that I don't know if you can, at this point in life, I don't know if you can't cure narcissism, right? You can't change that. You can, I guess, be more aware of what you're doing and be better. But I think his is just so far gone. I just don't see how you get back from that. And he just has so much ego surrounding that. And I feel like he has ego surrounding the marriages with Janelle and Christine because I think they have so many kids attached to it. And he doesn't want to look bad, right? But when it comes to Mary, why I think he just is so dismissive about Mary is Mary only had one kid. And that one kid doesn't weigh enough in his life. Excuse me, guys. Leon doesn't hold enough space in his life for him to really care. I hate to say it, but I think he's kind of just put Leon over here. But Christine and Janelle hold the largest pile of his kids. They hold all of his boys. Yeah, I think that's why Mary is just so whatever. Like, he just really doesn't care what Mary does. She doesn't. She in that religion too. You know, you're almost only as good as how many kids you can have, and so she just doesn't hold that much weight. And it's sad, but it's kind of like maybe this is why he just really does not care what Mary does. So anyway, moving on, you guys. Segment 2, I call this Mary, baby, he's done. My WTF moment. Watch this moment with Robin. She's tripping.
If Mary just sticks around long enough and we get through what's going on with Christine and even, Kody and Janelle figure out whatever they're going to do.
Okay. Once again, Robin, now you're telling Mary, hey, just stick around for years. Maybe eventually he'll come around. Why would you ask somebody to do that? Just stop. They show Utah, the parent one house, going to the carriage house. I did like in this moment, though, that Mary pointed out how Jen's husband will do some of those husband things for her, like get her, wash her car, things like that. And that to me was a sign like, Mary, Kody doesn't even want to do any of the basic maintenance things that a guy would do for you because he just wants you as a woman to make sure you're okay and taken care of. Like, he doesn't even care enough about you to even do those things. Jen's husband, who's not even married to you, still sees enough value in you as a woman to say, hey, I just want to make sure you're okay. And I feel like as a man, these are some things that I can provide for you as a man. You're giving him nothing but friendship to his wife. And he still sees the value in you to make sure you're okay. If you don't need any more sign that Kody does not want to be with you, he doesn't even see value in you as a female friend of his that he knows is single, because that's how he's treating you. He doesn't even see enough value in you to help you out with some of those things. I have even my gay guy friends know that I am a single woman, and when there's certain things that, like, I don't know, I need something lifted, whatever the case may be, they're always like, hey, let me take care of that, or let me help you with that. That's just like basic things when guys like care about you, just care about you in general. He doesn't even care about Mary. That just says a lot. He does not care. Mary, move on. And I'm tired of talking about their marriage because it's just ridiculous at this point. He doesn't care. And she's trying to make him care, and he doesn't. This is where Mary also talks about how she's had these like good relationships that she has with Jen, with Christine at some point, and even with Robin, but Robin's was more serious. And it's just starting to look like more to me that she had some kind of pact or something with Robin. And once everything started going on, I think Robin started to have a little resentment towards Mary for bringing her into this situation. Like, I just feel like they had a pact or something on how this was going to happen. And then when she got in, Robin's like, oh, you're making me part of the like Mean Girls Club. Like, because I'm connected to you, now I'm going to have to deal with the ostracization from everybody else, because Mary didn't have all the kids, right? So she was connected to the one mom that, number one, quite a few kids it seemed had an issue with, that Kody didn't really care about. That's the one that she was connected to. She wasn't connected to the women with all the children or the women with the money at that point. And so she had to deal with all the backlash. And I don't think she realized that she was signing up she bet on the wrong horse, so to speak. in that family. It didn't make her look good. It just made her look terrible. She might have got the husband in the end, but she has all this other stuff. She's like not a liked person. And I think that she wants to be liked, but she realizes she will never be. It's just, it's interesting when you look at it that way. All right, y'all, moving on. Segment 3, I called it the love of my life and my situations. Baby, let me tell you, Mary and Janelle, if a man called my marriage a situation, watch this W2F clip. Just watch the clip, y'all.
So it's been weird because I'm married to the love of my life. I've got these other situations at different levels of discord.
Okay. This man refers to Robin not only as the love of his life, right? But refers to his marriages with Janelle and Mary as situations. Leave him. Leave him. It's done. It's done. Leave him. Kody calling Janelle pathetic, saying that she basically is too influenced by Christine. We have seen multiple times how it's actually the complete opposite of that. And even Janelle saying like, yeah, I'm going to make this decision on my own. I'm going to tell you right now, Kody, she would not have been on a dinner with you if she was influenced by Christine. She certainly wouldn't still believe in plural marriage if she was influenced by Christine. And she absolutely would not even fathom having a relationship with you, whether you changed or not, if she was influenced by Christine. If she was influenced by Christine, when I tell you right now that your marriage would have been over a long time ago, she would have packed up Janelle and moved her with her when she left you. So is Christine vocal about her feelings? Yes, but you can tell that Christine is also respectful because she understands how Janelle works. And that tells me that Kody doesn't really know Janelle as well as he thinks he does. You don't really know this woman. Because I'm going to tell you right now, not only is she an independent thinker, but she's one to a fault. Because they're going through this marriage and how this marriage has been set up. She has been willing to take the bare minimum. Her kids take the bare minimum for life to stay easy. Christine was never going to do that, which is why she kept bringing it up. Janelle could have brought these things up many times. She didn't. And don't think for a second that Christine wasn't telling her, don't you need more? Don't you want more? And Janelle said, I'm fine. She says it multiple times, I'm fine, I'm okay. You're not okay, Janelle. But at the same time, she's not going to let Christine dictate to her what she's doing. So that's, I'm like, you don't even know your own wife. You don't even know her. She was the main breadwinner, my guy. Like, no one's influencing her. She was the one signing the checks. What is you talking about? Janelle's a husband. And that's the problem here, is you have a husband trying to stay in a marriage with another husband. It's a problem. He talks about loyalty all the time. This word of loyalty is so crazy to me, y'all. These women were beyond loyal to this man. He doesn't know what loyalty is. Neglecting your children is not loyalty, Kody. How he thinks that these people want to go to the house. They don't want to go to that house. You're forcing them to have relationships with people that they don't want to have relationships with. Why can you not have moments where, just like in any divorce situation, where you can have a relationship with your children? They're not going to disrespect her. You can just basically lay out what your ground rules are. Like, hey guys, if I spend time with you, I don't want to hear about you saying anything about Robin or whatever. And I'm sure those kids will be happy to follow that. Like, Dad, we're not trying to do that. We just want to spend some time with you and move forward. But at this point, you can't ask for these families to come together under a roof that was built with the love of your life. You can't ask your wives that you abandoned to then come back and have a relationship or have these holidays in a home that your love with your other wife built, when you neglected the love in all the other ones. It doesn't work, Kody. It doesn't. I don't know what to tell you. It's just that This family's a mess, y'all. This segment also, they're doing some planning of maybe future holidays together, maybe doing Thanksgiving, Christmas, things like that together. And then this is also where Mary gets together with Robin's kids, which I think is really sweet. And I think this is what Mary misses a lot too, because she was really close with Christine's youngest and, even Janelle's. I think she just really loves children. And I think because she no longer has a relationship with Kody, she doesn't have the same jealousy connected to Robin that she had with the other two women, right? She kind of had been through that with the other two. And unfortunately, that jealousy caused so many issues with those relationships with those moms that it started to seep into her relationships with the children. And that's unfortunate because you can tell Mary really loves kids, loves being around them. And so I am glad that she's getting that opportunity with Robin's kids to just have some connection with kids that isn't shrouded by the jealousy of her with their mom. She doesn't seem to have that with Robin. Even though Robin has gotten significantly more than she has. But she doesn't seem to have it. I think the jealousy she had was really with Janelle and Christine. And honestly, it's a lot to do with how Kody handled that. And they were young. They were so young. I wish they could, the way they were kind of shading Mary, Janelle, like, I have no desire to see Mary. And I'm like, I think Janelle is a very particular personality as well. I just think Christine is honestly able to just kind of deal with Janelle. But Janelle isn't like a warm and welcoming person either. So could you imagine that being the second wife coming in and they're just not very receptive to really having a relationship with you because they're not very connected and social like that. Even like with women, like I just know some women aren't really good at making friends with other women. They're like a girl's guy, as they say, and they could connect with men really well. So imagine somebody like Janelle coming in, which she definitely seems like a guy's gal. She's going to connect with Kody because they'll have things in common, but she's really not going to connect to the women. And a lot of the things those women like to do, she doesn't care to do, doesn't want to do. And I think that probably really impacted her having a relationship with Mary, because Mary was assuming this sister wives thing was going to be this big friendship and everything was going to be great and I'm going to connect this woman. And Janelle is not the personality for that. I almost wish Christine would have been the second wife and then Janelle came, because I feel like that transition, you guys, would have been smoother. Maybe even if Robin was like a second wife or something. But to go from Mary to Janelle, those two personalities, a super, what they call girly girl that has a lot of girlfriends, to a woman that's more like a guy's girl, doesn't really have very many girlfriends, it can be a little bit difficult to make girlfriends. I could see why her and Mary are like been working on this for forever and they're just never going to see eye to eye. I don't ever see that happening. Christine can entertain herself, and I think that's why she's able to handle things with Janelle. She's like three people in one. She needs somebody mellow like Janelle to balance her out. So segment 4 and 5, I just called it Christine Thinks My Life is Sad. And my WTF moment, I'm going to enter that right here.
A bad sister wife takes her kids away from her husband. And that's exactly what Christine has done. Robin's not guilty of that.
So y'all, this is when Kody basically says, well, Robin's loyal, Christine was not.
Robin's just loyal, and Christine just wasn't.
And this guy, he puts not 1 ounce of accountability on Robin for anything. And his whole idea of what sister wives is, which it's called sister wives, sister. The wife part might be you, but the sister part is within the women. And what they do in those relationships matters. It's not all about you. And it felt interesting to me. It's like he can't decide what he wants sister wives to really mean, or what he can't decide. He can't decide if he's going to let his true narcissism show and basically validate for us that he thinks he's the center of the universe and everything should revolve around him. Or if he thinks it should revolve around what's really the family and those relationships. And he would say that it's about the family, but in all actuality, y'all, it really is, everything should revolve around him and his mind. And that's not realistic, Kody. You're the reason why this whole family is destroyed like this. Because You stopped making it about the family and you actually made it about you. And now we see that. I'm sorry, y'all, but newsflash, Janelle, it is sad. Your relationship's very sad. And it imploded. Your husband dropped you off after your birthday to go to the love of his life house. It's imploded. This whole trying to make things easy and brush things under the carpet. You guys are literally cussing at each other on the couch. I mean, yelling. Be angry, Janelle, and be okay with that. Live in it. I really, honestly, I'll be honest with you guys. I just don't see how they could have a marriage, because I think what she thinks Kody needs to give her to make a relationship work, she can't even give him. She doesn't have the capacity to do so. It's literally like two husbands getting married that were married to each other, and that only lasts for so long. So now you're asking for a companion, but you don't want a consistent full marriage with him. You say you want this for independence. I don't know why you would need polygamy to be independent. I don't think you want a husband, Janelle. I think maybe you want a really good friend that occasionally is a husband. I don't know if you really understand what it would take to have a full marriage with a man, and like what he'd really need. I don't think you have the capacity to give it. And so I don't know what would be, I know that Kody's trying to make it happen, but I think that's more so for convenience, because I don't think you even have what he would need. And vice versa. I don't see it. And just like when he said she wants plural monogamy, she wants plural monogamy. She does not want plural marriage, y'all. She wants plural monogamy. And I'm okay with that term at this point, because that's exactly what this is feeling like. She has no desire to have a relationship with Robin. So how are you going to be married to this man and you have no relationship with this sister wife? That doesn't work, Janelle. It doesn't work. You think you can just, even in this situation, you think at this point, you can just get the man. You can't. You can't. You have to have the relationship with the other wife. That's what it's all about. And I think even for her being religious, she doesn't even really see what it's all about. So I don't know what she's going to do about that, but she needs to figure that out for herself, because I don't think she really knows what she'd have to really do to keep that marriage going with any man. Honestly, with any man. To ask them to pour into you and you're not really pouring into them, it doesn't work. This is also where Christine said she's appalled by his behavior and thinks it's just really disgusting how he has acted and handled this whole situation. I agree. It is disgusting. It is beyond unfortunate. He really just thought he could abandon an entire family and wives and nobody would care. And turns out everybody cares, Kody. You can't just abandon your kids and their moms and think nobody's going to pay attention and nobody cares. And nobody sees that you've clearly gotten with the love of your life. This is also when Kody says, I don't know why Janelle can't be married to me now. She was married to me when I was with Mary and when I was with Christine and Robin. And like we said, the difference is it was miserable for her when she was married with you and Mary, but she is a religious individual who's stuck it out. But guess what? How many times had Janelle moved out and left you? She's left you multiple times. So you're right. She can't stay married to you. She's not built for this. She thinks she is. She's actually not. Then she got to a point where she had too many kids and she needed Christine, so she was kind of stuck there. Then she got her own house. She's like, okay, maybe this is working. Got my own home. I'm able to kind of separate from everybody. I don't really have to make the friendships that I had to. But then she was like the first one saying, well, what about the traditions? And I'm like, Janelle, you have to have relationships with people. Like, you're not going to be able to build these traditions and connections if you don't cultivate these relationships with your sister wives. Then she tried with Mary. I could see maybe why her and Mary, that was just already, I just could never see that surviving. But she really could not get along with Robin. And ultimately, this man is married to a woman he really loves and wants to be with. So Kody, at this point, why would she want to continue to put herself through the torture of this? Because it's not going to get better. I think Janelle has eventually just said, yeah, you know what? The bare minimum is just not going to work anymore for me. And you were okay with giving her the bare minimum if you didn't really have to be that connected to her. But she's going to require more, and I don't know if you really want to give it to her. Anyway, y'all, that was the episode. I feel like that I didn't, it was too much. It was a lot of information, but I think I covered the things I really wanted to cover in this episode. We do see the preview that we're basically going to see Mykelti announce that she's pregnant with twins. So that shows you kind of the timeline of where we're at right now. But yeah, the biggest thing for me was this man finally admitting that he was married to the love of his life. Now, if only he would also admit, because he's married to the love of his life, that the rest of the women have been neglected for years because of it. When he admits that, I'll have a glimmer of hope for the man that maybe he will become. I don't know, y'all. Either way, put your comments below, you guys. Tell me what you thought about this episode. This, not bombshell, but him finally admitting that he found the love of his life. What do you think about Janelle? Do you think she should even attempt to get no marriage anymore? Because I don't know. I just don't think she should be married at all. Maybe she almost needs a friend with benefits. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think she's really seen what a real friend with benefits situation actually looks like. And I think she might need one. So put your comments below, you guys. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on your notifications. Hit the like button. Share the video. I will see you guys sometime this week. I'll put another video out this week. And maybe we'll jump on a live. Who knows? See you later. Bye.